they would scold me. They'd say,
So how did Ward meet his maker? Well, he's climbing out of a bunk bed on a ladder.
it could do that.
You just call out.
Right. She said it could be done with an ordinary phone. You don't even need a smartphone.
Me would be, all right, not the best and the worst, but what are the elements that we think are, that we can bet on? What are we really going to have to deal with? And then how does that context impact on the form that we devise for the agenda? So I'm listening for this kind of form context thing. And on the other hand, I'm listening, if we can just take as a shorthand the adjacent possible.
Or down, or you can go to a different cluster. So pick one of these other clusters, and we'll be in another cluster. He showed me this diagram, and I'll say, what's the difference here and here, and that's this, and I say, that's brilliant. Brilliant. I said it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It has to be from here.
On this side, we're going to have the recursions that you guys give me that deal with what I call the physical, biological, ecological world. This is the world without humans. This is the world that exists out there. Essentially working with this neighborhood association. So it's very much involved in trying to do something with the neighborhood. Now, if you put the word aliveness in there, you get to literally say intuitively, like, is it more or less alive when I look at it? You know.
That define the axes and offers a star rating, 1 to 5 stars.
Sustasis, quality purveyor of wisdom to make civilization better.
We have that already.
That's right.
We could sit there in this tool, never mind that it had our work spread all over the screen and we could point to things, whatever. It encouraged us to use the process that Whitehead said that people do things, and it supported it. Where is it?
How about like that?
So this has been a good weekend, and we talked about a lot of different things, of course, but the thing that is really stuck in my brain right now is this idea that pattern language as a system could be put into a computer in a way that is more expressive than the printed form. Now, I don't think that surprises anybody, but we talked about specific cases for that, and there's a lot of excitement, even if it isn't all positive.
I'm going to build on what Ward said in the sense of, I think a piece that seems to be in the air right now is leaving wisdom at hand for muggles. And muggles is from Harry Potter. It's just a way of talking about civilians, normal people, not coders, not smart pattern people who we need. But how do we put things in front of people in a way that's genuinely accessible and useful to them in their real lives? And in order to do that, we're going to have to listen very carefully to them. We have to find places to experiment with this, but I'm excited for the prospect of doing that.
So for me, it was the rediscovery and the reconfirmation of the necessity of small groups face-to-face over a rich period of time, and the subtlety and the texture of the conversations over the weekend that we could not have had in any other way. And the surprise elements, the best elements, actually came out of the margins, not during what we had planned to talk about, but the ad hoc, over a beer connections that were actually the best bit, and which are such a vital part of the small group face-to-face activity.
It's been a privilege to be here, and I must say the month leading up to this was as good as the 3 days here, because you stimulated me to reread a couple of books, and then Jenny's book,
which is marked up on every page, was just a delight to read. So it was so nice to meet her. And there's no discontinuity between the way she writes and what a nice person she is. For me, being here, well, you could talk for an hour. The thing that I was so happy to come here was I believed for several years that neighborhoods are the center of how we're going to recreate civilization, which has kind of gone off the rails, and that patterns were essential or critical or very helpful. And of course, now I got to spend the week with experts on pattern languages who knew Alexander for years intimately. And unless you guys correct me now, I think the ideas that as you guys wrote about New Orleans, neighborhood centers are a big deal and patterns can be really helpful. And the little look you got at the work I'd done, I didn't hear anybody say you should quit. So I'm really enthusiastic and feel confident going forward that we're doing the right thing. And I look forward to helping continue the things that came up here.
So thank you everybody for coming and for a great weekend, an opportunity from our point of view, self-interestedly to think about where Sustasis goes next, what we do as a mission, as a group of people. And, you know, one of the things we've talked about a lot is that there will be a transition to another kind of world, because that's what happens in human societies. And in our case, the question is, can we be helpful in making that a better than it would otherwise be, better in terms of the tools and the resources that are available. And in our case, I think we believe that those tools and resources can be related to or directly come from pattern languages as a methodology, rooted in neighborhoods, as Mark was saying, and rooted in the scale of people working together at neighborhoods, having those tools for transition. I think that's really what we see ourselves as being all about, and I think we have a lot of energy now to take forward some specific projects along those lines.